Can you feel it? Nothing can save ya, cause this is the season of funky behavior. I came to relax your mind, you can recline. On what? On this here rhyme. I like the style, I'm staying for a while. It helps me show cats that I'm versatile. I'll touch your dial, turn your frown to a smile. I'll make you feel like you're having a child. So relax and open up, child. I'm about to make you walk what? Pimp style or pimped out style. You don't understand the logic. See if you don't have it all, I'll take a deposit. I got shit for you, it's alright indeed. It's like going to the garden and planting the seed. It might tickle for a second, but it won't bleed. So just relax, just hear a dope track. I'm just real nice, everything is real fat. You don't have to do work, we do that. It's the type of place where you can wear your hat. Just relax, and just hear a dope track. I'm just real nice, everything is real fat. And you can wear your hat, just relax. It's the type of place where you can wear your hat. Your entertainment, at the same time edutainment. In other words, you could call it bent. What I'm saying is that I'm here at your service. It's hard work, but then again, I deserve this. I'm helping people enjoy their spare time. I'm like an instructor when I'm doing my rhyme. Relax and just hear the dope track. It's really not all that, it's not like a gat. We like that when everything is relaxed and chill. You don't have to get fucked up or take pills, cause I like being myself, it feels good. Yo, it makes my meals taste good. 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 So just relax. If you're a dope track, I'm just real nice, everything is real fat. You don't have to do work, we do that. It's the type of place where you can wear your hat. Just relax. And you're a dope track, I'm just real nice, everything is real fat. You don't have to do work, we do that. It's the type of place where you can wear your hat. Just relax. My mind state, now balloon, it won't inflate. Just take the buzz, it's my Twaza kid, fuck the shade. And take it to a lower level, and dig a ditch for a devil. Got some more kids and pass the shovel. Dig a hole, take them on a spiritual roll. Lyrics unfold, either that or unroll the scroll. Episodes keep reoccurring and stifling. People's vision get blurring, their hearts start murmuring. I'm about 5 times iller than a Sherman. Introspection is God's gift to the miracle. I freak material, lamb's milk without the cereal. When MCs say your booty, they mean venereal. Your fake material hip-hop killers, they more faking than fucking Michael Jackson and Thriller. The status of a hoe, Quanto Costa. They wanna know how much it costs, kid, I bet for keep to me. Just relax, and just hear a dope track. The vibes is real nice, everything is real fat. You don't have to do work, we do that. It's the type of place where you could wear your hat. Just relax, and just hear a dope track. The vibes is real nice, everything is real fat. You don't have to do work, we do that. It's the type of place where you can wear your hat. Just relax.
Alright, 1 2 everybody. We are back at it again. 1 2 1 2. Let me just check the audio here. I hope everybody is having a wonderful Thursday morning. Yeah, and what time is it right about now? It's 9:17 Central European time. That would make it 3:17 Eastern Standard Time in the morning. And it's another day of the crazy shit. You know, what can I say? I mean, it seems that life has been kind of reduced to something very, very just almost like backwards in a sense, you know. I don't know. I feel that way as an American citizen, although I live abroad, you know, so I'm not really feeling it at all. My whole experience every day that I wake up is totally different, because I live in a different country that does shit different. And, you know, that's just how it is. You follow the local laws, you learn the local customs, and and it just turns out that one of the local customs, you know, I don't know if it's a custom or if it's just what you can call management, is that actually, you know, some data says some really different things, how people spend money. how people spend tax dollars. You might want to know, as an American citizen, people spend tax dollars in other NATO countries a little bit differently, right? And I've heard you, I know you heard Trump gripe about that. You know, you NATO nations need to pay more, right? Okay, get it up to 5% of your GDP, get it up to 5%, you know. But let me tell you, that's Trump's words. That's what Trump wants people to do. Get it up to 5%. Okay, does that 5% make up for the rest of the money that in taxes that Americans pay that they don't see a damn thing back in return for? I don't think so. 5%, whatever, 2%, 3%, 5%. There's a big difference in how NATO nations spend the other money, the rest of the money. You know what I'm saying? And American citizens deserve to know that. Now this stream is called. Let me see. What the hell is it called? It has a very interesting name. Let me pull it up here. Yeah, it's called "The Federal Government Needs to Stop Begging from U.S. Citizens. Money does not grow on trees." You know what I'm saying? It doesn't grow on trees. And stop begging. Stop begging for U.S. citizens' money. I mean, really, go get a job. Go get a job, federal government. Please go get a fucking job. You know, the federal government of the United States spends money like they're either drug addicts, crackheads, or just can't get the fuck out of the casino. You know what I'm saying? They burn tax dollars. And American citizens, really, when you compare it to other countries, yo, they burning a hole in motherfuckers' pockets. I'm just telling you straight up. And let's just take a look at a little data before you get to see in real terms what you get for your tax dollars, which is fucking, it's embarrassing what you get. I mean, you already paid a lot in taxes. When you look at what you get back for the taxes you pay a lot, because you don't get as much back as some other people get. I'm gonna tell you that right now. And I mean, it's a significant amount of get back that you don't get for the amount of money that you pay. I mean, American citizens pay a whole fucking lot in taxes, and they pay a whole heaping lot for other shit too. Like, I'm sorry, but the only thing that can explain it is a whole lot of waste. And I'm not talking about, you know, you might try to figure out some sort of way to where this is like got something to do with the poor people. No, poor people don't have money to waste. Okay, this is waste in other areas that's very, very clear that you will really, really see. But, you know, welcome everybody to the stream. By the way, if you come in and click the like button, please subscribe. Also, if you've never been here before, if you haven't subscribed. But check this out. Also, I've been away for a day or two. You know, I told you guys I was catching up. My work has been getting it's been having some changes, you know, having to help out a little extra and, you know, or change some things around, some timing things, you know. So I haven't been able to totally be on the streams all the time, because when I'm streaming, I like to be there 100%. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to stretch my energy out. So today I'm here 100%. Now let's look at some of this data before we watch some of this wacko stuff. There's a lot going on in the U.S. and it is like, I don't know. I guess when you spend money, like when you have a whole lot of money, when you're used to being a billionaire, you can spend taxpayer dollars like Trump spends it. You got it to waste. You know, your administrators or your directors can have 2 goddamn jet planes. It's like, what can they do? They just all over the place. Ain't saving nobody's fucking life though. Alaska, just half of Alaska just got flooded, and you didn't hear nothing from Trump about that shit. You know what I mean? Not really. No follow up, nothing from Hegseth, nothing from any of these people. It's like, I'm sorry, that's very, very suspicious. If you ask me, that's very, very suspicious. And but in any case, let me pull this data up. Let me see, where is it at? Right here. Here we go. Transition. Now look, I wanted to go into ChatGPT, and I encourage everybody to look on their own. Don't follow me. Don't follow me. I'm just here for, you know, entertainment, purposes for people that like light conversation and conversation that makes sense, where you might get a few little pieces of information that you didn't have before, just out of the fun of conversing. But by no means are you here to take my word, because my listeners are kind of quality people. They know how to go out there and check shit out too. You see what I mean? So, of course, you expected to do that on your own. But since you are here, we can review some of this stuff ourselves. And by the way, if you got any suggestions, just drop it in the chat and let me know. Now, I wanted to know just one basic question, and there's always some basic questions. There's loads of basic questions that I always like to ask. Right, because why else would I have a bunch of people listening and up in my chat if I don't ever ask them anything, right? That would be stupid of me. You know what I'm saying? I like to know what other people are thinking. I like to cross-reference. I like to qualify things. You see what I mean? Use qualitative data, not just quantitative. You see what I'm saying? So just to get a rounded picture of the situation. Now, I went out here and I asked ChatGPT, and you can always ask more refined questions. For those of you that have them, I develop and change and get more specific as I go along. But I like to start off with a basic question, so then I can kind of go into some detail after. You see what I mean? I like to ask a broad question and then go into some detail, then go into the micro after, right? So the broad question here was, what percentage of USA Americans, I say USA Americans because look, America is a big, it's a big continent, and there's a lot of different kind of Americans, and they have different names. But us in the US, we like to call ourselves Americans, right? Other Americans, they have different names, Jamaicans, Cubans, you know what I'm saying? Colombians, Canadians, Mexicans, we got a lot of different names, Panamanians, Nicaraguans, you know what I'm saying? El Salvadorians, Brazilians. Man, we got a beautiful place. We got a beautiful place with some beautiful people. But us USA Americans, we call ourselves Americans. Yeah, but in any case, because we are, but we ain't the only ones. Damn. Now, I asked, what percentage of USA Americans' taxes go to bettering their immediate lives when speaking of healthcare, education, childcare, housing, roads, etc., in comparison to where? Denmark, the country I live in, right? And this is what we brought back. So let's take a listen to this. I think it starts off giving you some good direction. It's up to you what you do with it, Let's see here.
Nice question. Important and tricky. Short answer up front. Denmark, roughly 70 to 75% of government spending, i.e. most of the taxes Danes pay, is directed at things that directly improve everyday life. Health, education, social protection, child and family supports, pensions, unemployment insurance, housing, community services and transport. United States, roughly 45 to 55% of government spending, i.e. of the taxes Americans pay, goes to those same immediate life betterment categories. Those are estimates with clear assumptions. Below, I show exactly how I reached them, the sources I used, and the main uncertainties so you can judge the result or ask me to tighten it up. Hashed how I measured taxes that make life better. You asked for the share of taxes that actually go.
All right. So you see already, it starts off with saying 75%, right? 75% of the taxes that Danes pay, 70 to 75%, goes to their immediate lives, things that impact their lives immediately, right? And 45 to 55 goes to impacting American citizens' lives directly. Shit you see right up in your face. Shit you got to deal with the average person must deal with every day. Okay? And I don't even think we're not talking about a highway you don't fucking use, because a lot of people don't have cars. You see what I mean? A lot of people never been out of their goddamn town or neighborhood. You see what I'm saying? You know, a lot of people live in cities. They don't need a big ass highway. You know, now, I mean, maybe they need it to ship goods in and out, but they're not on the highway. A lot of people, you know, some people, they on the highway every goddamn day themselves independently, you know, so that might change things. But in any case, let's do this over. So now we know right off the bat with the general answer, the answer you don't have to believe at all. The answer I'm not even responsible for giving you. But what I did bother to find myself just with a couple of seconds. However, I think this is going to be pretty accurate. You know what I'm saying? I don't think this is going to be far off from the point at all. I don't think you're going to go anywhere and find some shit that's going to change the ultimate picture here. You see what I'm saying? So right off of the bat, we got a doozy. I think you might want to qualify some more, but damn.
Nice question. Important and tricky.
So let's listen.
Short
again.
answer
Sorry.
up front. Denmark, roughly 70 to 75% of government spending, i.e. most of the taxes Danes pay, is directed at things that directly improve everyday life. Health, education, social protection, child and family supports, pensions, unemployment insurance, housing, community services and transport. United States, roughly 45 to 55% of government spending, i.e. of the taxes Americans pay, goes to those same immediate life betterment categories. Those are estimates with clear assumptions. Below, I show exactly how I reached them, the sources I used, and the main uncertainties so you can judge the result or ask me to tighten it up. Hashed how I measured taxes that make life better. You asked for the share of taxes that actually go to healthcare, education, childcare, housing, roads, etc. To make that measurable, I used the International COFOG classification of the functions of government, and grouped these COFOG items as direct life improvers. Health, education, social protection, pensions, family child benefits, unemployment, disability, includes childcare supports in many countries, housing and community amenities, transport, roads, public transport. 2 useful facts are available from international statistics. 1. Government spending by function. What share of total government expenditure is spent on each COFOG category? OECD, Our World in Data, National Statistical Offices. 2. Tax revenue levels. Total tax receipt, taxes to GDP. So we can understand scale, OECD, World Bank, Tax Policy Center. To estimate the share of taxes that go to life improvers, I used this simple, transparent approach. Take each country's share of total government spending that goes to the life improvers categories, COFOG. That gives the portion of the government budget aimed at those services. Treat that portion as the portion of tax money that funds those services, i.e. a tax dollar roughly finances government spending. That yields the percent of taxes that are directly spent on those services. This is the standard, internationally comparable way to answer your question. Caveats below. Now, data and sources, most important ones, OECD, Government at a Glance 2025 and COFOG tables, summary data on spending by function 2023. OECD, Statistics Denmark, COFOG breakdown for Denmark, social protection 41.5% of government expenditure, health 17.6%, official stat bank tables. Denmark Statistic, OECD Tax Statistics and Tax Policy Center for total tax revenue comparisons. Denmark's tax to GDP pays 43%, one of the highest in OECD. United States tax to GDP 27 to 28%, below OECD average. OECD Our World in Data. OECD interactive COFOG datasets for cross-country shares by function. Our World in Data. If you want the raw tables I used, I can pull them together into a single spreadsheet or run the exact COFOG sums for a specific year. How the numbers come out, walkthroughs, rounded results. Denmark, estimate. Official StatBank COFOG shows social protection, 41.5% of all government spending, and health, 17.6%. Education and other social categories add further shares. These COFOG categories are large in Denmark. Denmark Statistic, summing the COFOG categories we care about, social protection plus health, education, housing, community, transport, gives roughly 0.75, 70 to 75% of total government spending in Denmark. Different sub-year choices move this by a few percentage points. Denmark Statistic. Because Denmark's tax to GDP is high at 43%, The upshot is about 70 to 75% of the taxes Danes pay are being spent on these immediate services: health, education, childcare, family supports, housing, community amenities, roads, transport. Final Denmark ballpark, 70 to 75% of taxes go to direct life improvers. Denmark statistic, United States estimate. The US government's spending mix gives relatively larger shares to defense, interest on debt, and some general public services, while social protection plus health education together are a smaller share of total government spending than in Denmark. OECD Our World in Data show notable cross-country differences. Our World in Data, using COFOG groupings and recent OECD OWIDE indicators, the US share of total government spending going to social protection plus health plus education, housings, transport is roughly 0.45, 45 to 55% of total government spending. Again, depends on year and whether you include state, local versus only federal shares. Our World in Data. With the US tax to GDP around 27 to 28%, that means about 45 to 55% of each tax dollar goes to the immediate services listed above. The rest funds defense, debt service, general administration, subsidies, transfers that are less directly improving everyday public services for most people, etc. TaxPolicyCenter.org. Final US ballpark, 45 to 55% of taxes go to direct life improvers. Tax Comparison Summary Compact Denmark, 70 to 75% of taxes, direct benefits, health, education, childcare, family, housing, roads. Denmark statistic, United States, to 45 to 55% of taxes, those same direct benefits, but large shares go to defense, debt service, and other items. Our World in Data, so Danes pay more taxes overall, and a larger share of those taxes is spent on services that directly affect everyday living standards. Important caveats and uncertainties, please read. 1. Direct impact is partly subjective. I treated social protection, health, education, housing and transport as direct life improvers. Some users might exclude pensions, old age pensions, or count defence as indirectly important. That would change the numbers. 2. Levels and coverage differ. Denmark's social protection includes universal healthcare, long parental leave, subsidised childcare and broad benefits. US programs are more fragmented, federal, state plus private. Comparing COFOG shares tries to make the apples-to-apples comparison, but institutional differences matter. Denmark statistic 3. Federal versus subnational spending, USA. A lot of life improver spending in the US is at the state-local level, education, many health programs. If you look only at federal spending, the share will look different. COFOG totals are used for general government, consolidated where possible. Our World in Data 4. Some taxes fund transfers or debt service that indirectly improve lives later. For example, paying down debt or funding research may have longer-term benefits that aren't captured by the immediate services grouping. 3. Rough ranges, not precise decimals. I intentionally gave ranges, e.g. 75% versus 45 to 55%, because year-to-year data and small definitional choices move the precise point. The overall story, Denmark, much higher share both in absolute and relative terms, is bust in the cited data. Want it tighter, more exact? I can produce a small table.
All right, so there we go. So right off the bat, 70 to 75% of the taxes Danes pay go, to benefit their actual day-to-day lives. Right. And there's some things in there you may not know about. But in the US, it's 45 to 50%. Right. Isn't that what they said? Isn't that what he said? 45 to 55%. Denmark is 70 to 75% of the overall taxes working. You could see them. Each person can pretty much see how it benefits them. It benefits their lives. In other words, I'll give an example. In Denmark, when you have a child, for example, each family, right? It doesn't matter if it's a single family, a single person, like one mom or one dad, or if the family is headed up by a mother and a father, right? Or two people, right? Let's say it doesn't matter if it's single or a double parentage, right? Each child gets, their parents or parent gets a year off from work right off the bat. You paid, of course, so where you work, the job you have, they pay for that. That's considered normal. And, I'm talking about a private company or the state. It's the law. It doesn't matter if you private. It doesn't matter if you're the company where you got a competitor that's selling butter for, $1 a stick, and you decided you want to sell your butter for $20 a stick. Same rules. And of course you can. If you think your butter is better, you can sell it for more. Right? And maybe it is a little better, right? Just to give you an example. And some other things, of course, universal health care and all of that, right? But it's just something to think about, because when I think about that, I think about the U.S. You heard defense. Well, shit. Right now, U.S.'s defense is used to harassing American citizens on their own goddamn street. On their own goddamn street. Like, really? On your own So not only are these people, does less of your taxes in the U.S. go to benefit your actual life, but these motherfuckers are out here just spending it all like they in a casino. Fuck it. Go bomb some shit in Venezuela. Go bomb some little ass boats. Let's take $1 million missile and bomb a $300 boat with 6 people on it that get paid, if they're lucky, in a regular job. They get paid what you get in 1 month. They get paid what you get paid in a day, if they're lucky. Let's say they might be narco handlers, and let's quadruple. Let's do that 10 times over. Hey, instead of giving them, $100 a month, give them $500. Give them $1,000 a month, and they would use that missile that costs $1 million to blow it up. I mean, you guys are balling in the U.S. The U.S. is balling, bro. Fucking Trump is balling. He's like a big baller. Hegseth, big baller. What's the fat dude that took $50,000 bribe? Whatever Tom Holman, baller, boy. Woo! He got a hot hand. Hot hand on deck. And they blowing that fucking money. They are blowing it. They got all kinds of fucking money to spend, boy. Woo! I see why now. They got bullshit money. They got fuck around money. So that's why the stream is called Federal Government, Get a Motherfucking Job. Stop begging citizens for fucking money. Stop begging. Get a fucking job. Stop begging, man. Literally, stop begging people. Stop begging. And the reason why I thought of that title is because the moment a U.S. citizen says, fuck this, I pay all these taxes, shouldn't I at least be able to have a life that just make sure I have to lose my house when someone gets sick? When an American citizen says that, guess what they hear back? Get a job. So fuck that. That's what I decided. Federal government, get a fucking job. Stop begging people. Stop begging Stop begging citizens for fucking money. Get a job, loser. I'm telling you, man. Yeah, get a fucking job, because you guys waste fucking money. Let me see here. Speaking of wasting money, come on, let's see where this money is getting spent. Oh, this goddamn money, boy. Woo! They got loads of money to spend, boy. And no wonder they beg for the fucking shit every month, every hour you work. Here they come again. Can I get some money? Can I get some free money? No money does not grow on trees, junkie. Get a fucking job. Clean up your act. Go to rehab, federal government. Go to fucking rehab, Hegseth. Go to rehab, Tom Holman. Go to rehab, Pam Bondi. What the hell is the Tulsi Gabbard? All of you. Go to fucking rehab. Get a job. Okay? Stop begging. All right. Now let's listen to another beggar. Somebody who's begging, who wouldn't have this. This motherfucker is totally DEI. He had no qualifications whatsoever. done nothing in his life. Nothing. By the way, nothing to brag about. This motherfucker's out here bragging about being in the National Guard. Okay. Okay. If you want to brag about that, hey, man. Hey, you do that. You do that. If that's that was your big move. Okay, buddy. Okay. Now check this out. This guy is very important to know when we're talking about beggars, what type of beggar this is. This guy's family are immigrants from Norway. His parents migrated from Norway. And I just want you to keep this in mind. Not that I have anything problem. Shit, Norway is a fly-ass country. Norwegians know what they're doing. Norway is a beautiful country. And Norwegians take care of that country very well. And people in Norway have a very, very high standard of life. Some shit Pete Hegseth, god damn, he could benefit from. Like, damn, Pete Hegseth is a goddamn idiot. It's like he never had schooling. Like, really. Pete Hegseth is a rude piece of shit. Flat out. I mean, this is like the bottom of the barrel for even a supremacist. You know what I'm saying? Even a bigot. This is bottom level. This is ghetto. Pete Hegseth is ghetto compared to Norwegians. I just got to tell you that. Norwegians have union jobs. Fine, well-paying union jobs. Norway got oil. Guess what? Guess what, Pete Hegseth? Do you know everybody in Norway gets a piece of the oil money? Did you know that, buddy? Yeah, you might want to try doing something to that instead of taking all the oil money yourself and blowing it at the fucking casino, because American citizens don't get shit for that. What do American citizens get for that? What do Native Americans get for that? Nothing. Stop begging from Native Americans. Stop begging. Oil comes out of the ground. Use it for your people. You know, stop blowing it at the casino, federal government. Now, in any case, get a job. Now, let's listen to the difference. Big up Norway. Boo to this fool right here. Okay? I just want you to... I had to bring the Norway thing up because when you hear the shit he's talking about, our founding fathers. Man, I'm sorry, but let's keep it real. It's perfectly fine to be an immigrant. It's perfectly fine to come from an immigrant family. But don't you ever fucking forget there's other people here too. You just don't jump the line and start pretending like you have something to do with the founding fathers. Not when you're talking to people whose ancestors fucking bled for this fucking country when it was founded. I mean, that's all I'm saying about it. It's a little fucking weird. If I was in China myself going and doing the same speech as him, and I was there one generation, I was a child of a farm, people, they'd be looking at my ass like, your founding father? They would be looking weird. Like, okay.
I hear they call you guys the freedom fighters. Is that right?
Yeah. They call us the freedom fighters, man.
This. I've seen a lot of beautiful things. I don't know. This might be the most beautiful.
No, you haven't, man. You seen a motherfucking bar. You seen the alley when you was pissed drunk. You seen the fucking toilet. You know what I'm saying? Some stinky, pissy toilet, you know, that you couldn't drag your ass out of after you threw up.
Sight I've ever seen right here. What an honor it is to be here. It's a long flight to get out here. You guys know that, but it is an honor.
You get paid for it, dumbass. You get paid for it. You get paid a lot more than any of them get paid. You don't sacrifice shit. They do.
Got a cap back. I think I put this on. Does that look good?
No. Boo.
What a beautiful looking ship you got. Even more beautiful looking men and women out here, and our Japanese partners as well. It's great to see you. Thank you for taking a moment.
Did you even learn one word of Japanese since you went over there? Ohio gozaimasu, konnichiwa, something?
And in a moment, you're going to see our
Probably not.
commander.
Or he would have said it. right? He would have said that in his opening, just right there. Soon as he referenced Japanese soldiers.
Chief, who
Ohio gozaimasu, Japanese soldiers.
I know is thrilled to see all of you. I can't help but think, George Washington, the ultimate freedom fighter, the ship's named after
See what I mean? George Washington, ultimate freedom fighter.
him. He's the first in war, first in peace, first in the hearts of all of our countrymen. And when we think of 250...
Is George Washington really in this fool's motherfucking heart? I don't think so, because the person he works from just ripped down historic part of the historic White House. I mean, it doesn't have to be the oldest part for it to mean something to Americans, and these people rolled over it like it doesn't mean shit, just like they rolled over the Constitution, just like they roll over anything it has anything to do with America. They just roll over it.
50 years of our country, we're coming up on 250 years. Everybody likes to think 1776.
I don't like to think 1776.
But of course, the Navy, the Marine Corps, and the Army are all 250 years old, dating back to 1775.
Oh, really? You don't say so. You don't say so, huh? He knows something about that. Look, I hate Pete Hegseth. I think he's a loser. I don't think he really knows shit about the United States of America. I don't think he really cares about any struggle that ever happened in the United States of America. And there's a lot that could be said that a person could say to let you know that you really tap into what it is to be an American. But what he's saying right now, it doesn't move me at all. It's like, okay, the military was started a year before 1776. Right. Oh, wow. That's such a blockbuster idea. Like, boom. Oh, really? Oh, thank you for telling me that.
Right? We talk about 1776, and rightfully so, the Declaration of Independence, the amazing moment we launched this American experiment, but it
We launched it, but he doesn't even have any respect for those people who were launching it. He has no respect for them, because if he had any respect, he would understand what the fuck DEI is. You see what I'm saying? He would understand what it is, because that's exactly what the fucking war was about, to end slavery. Okay. And this dude, a injustice, a human injustice, on the most basic form. And he's how did they celebrate that shit? How do they celebrate that? Diversity. Then he goes out there. He claims that, I know I'm saying a lot right now, but I'm just got to get this out. He claims that he's going to say in this speech that you don't need diversity. Diversity is not what makes us great. And you see, that's so stupid, because let me tell you, Irish people didn't see themselves the same as English people. You see what I mean? They had different ethnicities. French people didn't see themselves the same as English people. Okay. Belgian people didn't. Germans didn't. Danes didn't. That's why they have different names. Scandinavian people, that's why they have different terms to qualify who they are. And that's diverse. Why is it diverse? Because they were at war with each other. They were competitors against each other. Did they agree? No, they didn't fucking agree. And did they launch bombs at each other and cannons? Yes. You see what I'm saying? Did one fight against the other? Absolutely. That's what the foundings of the country is all about. And this fool, you listen to this dumb idiotic, he's just out in mystery land, like make-believe land about what it is to be an American. It's insulting.
doesn't start without 1775.
Wow, that was such a huge fucking revelation right there, boy. It doesn't start without 1775. Oh, whoa, damn.
Without Americans willing to pick up, well, then it was a musket. We didn't quite have aircraft carriers.
Thank you for the fucking lesson. I mean, has this motherfucker ever been to the Smithsonian Institute? You know what I'm saying? Like, does he really even care about this shit? You know?
A musket willing to stand their ground and believe in something greater than themselves.
Who did they stand their ground against? And then what happened after that? You know?
Fight for freedom. And when I look out into your eyes...
Who helped them fight for freedom? Who helped them fight for freedom? Who helped them fight for freedom? Who helped George Washington? You know what I'm saying? Who helped the Americans, colonial Americans break free from the grips of Britain? Anybody? Was anybody there? Who participated in that? Who participated?
All those eyes way back there past the press.
Who were the colonial Americans? Were they immigrants?
Just get them out of the way.
Were they even legal?
When I
According to who? Who said they were legal? Was it Britain? Was it Britain that said they were legal? Okay.
see all those eyes back there, I see the very same eyes of those men and women from 1775.
How the fuck would he know what they look like? His family, they weren't there. He's just making it up. Like, what is this motherfucker? The Yoda of colonial American history now? Just out of anywhere,
Who were young, hungry,
Young and hungry. That's what they were, huh? They were fucking starving. Okay? They were, you could say young, but they didn't have any rights. They didn't have any of the rights these people have today. And this dude is trying to rip all the rights away that they fought to even have.
principled,
He's trying to bring people back to that time period.
gritty, tough, and willing to fight for the man and the woman on the right and the left.
Man and woman on the right and the left, he's kicking women out of the fucking military. He's kicking women out of the military. He's not saying this shit. He's like, damn, people got to prove themselves. I wonder how many people back then in George Washington's military or in the Union, I wonder how many fat people they were firing. How many people were they firing for having a beard? None. And this dumbass just refused to meet anybody. Look, he's like, I'm wondering, is he on the down low? Like, what the hell? He literally refused to meet soldiers there who had beards. That's crazy. Then he got rid of generals for what? Being overweight or something like that?
For deep principles and convictions that you still stand for today. What President Trump's doing is pretty simple, but it's revolutionary.
Notice how he's giving all the credit to President Trump now. What President Trump is doing, it's so great. Did you know President Trump was doing some great shit? Y'all out there, stuck out there in the middle of nowhere, and haven't seen your families in a while, probably won't get paid. You know what I'm saying? Don't you want to know what good things, how good President Trump is doing?
Reminding the country and our adversaries that we're going to put America first.
By doing what? By using 75% of the American people's tax dollars on bullshit that doesn't enhance their lives at all, bullshit that they never come to see, while you talk down to them and tell them to get a fucking job. Stop begging American citizens and residents. Stop begging Americans for more tax money. It doesn't grow on trees, so people like you can go out there and talk shit. Okay?
How about that?
That was kind of lukewarm.
Now, that doesn't mean America alone. We have our allies like we do here.
Oh, we got allies like who? Canada? Do we have allies with Canada anymore? No. Yo, anyone who gets called an ally is somebody that gets fucked over. He's fucked over Japan just in trade. How many times? And now they're our allies again? That makes no goddamn sense.
In Japan, incredible allies where we have 55.
You treat your incredible allies the way Trump treated the Japanese. That's how you treat your yo, you may as well be talking to a pimp. You may as well be the hoe having their pimp talk to them. You're an incredible hoe. I love you. You're great. You're the best hoe I got. You're one of the best hoes I got. Hey.
5,000 American troops, and we stand shoulder to shoulder with them. But part of being strong is putting America and Americans first.
That's a goddamn lie. Let me ask you something. Do you think putting Americans first is using 45 to 50% of their tax dollars on shit that doesn't impact their lives directly at all. Do you think that's putting Americans first? Or do you think it would be putting Americans first if 70 to 75% of the tax dollars they pay go directly to impacting their lives in a positive way? Which one do you think is better? Put a 1 in the chat if you think you'd be putting America more first if you spent 75% of their tax dollars on shit that betters their lives. And put a 2 in the chat if you think America is just fine spending 50% of the tax dollars you pay to better your lives. Which one do you think is more putting them first? 75% or 55%? You tell me. 1 in the chat if you think 75 is a good number. 2 in the chat if you think 50 to 55 is good.
It also means, on that banner, peace through strength. It means reestablishing deterrence. When you've lost it, it's
peace through strength. Peace. So we're going to blow up some $300 boats with $1 million rocket. I mean, you know, what the fuck? What the hell? What the hell?
important to reestablish it. And President Trump has
Get up. Look, you hear him again. And President Trump did it again. This is what he's doing for you, y'all. This is President Trump. But what's crazy is they see President Trump not doing a motherfucking thing. but tripping out on Twitter in the middle of the night and shit. Fuck it. You know what? I'm going to tariff your ass, China. 70. Now he's over in China because he just threatened the ass 2 weeks ago or a day ago. I mean, what the hell? He just saw a commercial about Ronald Reagan talking about taxes. And then the next day, 2 hours later, he's tariffing Canada again. Did any of y'all see the lithium prices just flip like that? Because Canada is involved in a lot of lithium mining. American car companies need that lithium to make cars. You see how quickly that fucks up our market? And he just did it anyway. This guy is a loser.
done that, from the Houthis and opening up our shipping lanes. I mean,
I'm gonna give you I'll do you a favor. Bombing people, it doesn't solve problems. Leveraging, not leveraging your weapons, your capacity to kill. Leverage your capacity to help people, to trade better, to improve their lives. Why don't you leverage that? Because let me tell you, the United States has a lot of leveraging power when it comes to helping people's lives, improving people's lives, if it wants to. Let me tell you, if they hadn't done something to improve something, to give them something concrete, those lanes would not be opened up. I'm telling you that. If the United States wasn't doing a whole lot for a whole lot of people, somehow, maybe they don't tell you what they do. People like Hexec don't tell you what the U.S. government does. But let me tell you, if Egypt and the surrounding areas, Saudi Arabia, any of them, Israel, you could best believe if the U.S. wasn't doing some real tangible shit for them, them lanes would be closed. Fuck your bombs. Nobody does it just for death threats. Nobody helps you make trillions and trillions of dollars just to avoid a death threat while you give them nothing. I'm just saying.
When you just give away shipping lanes to pirates, that creates problems.
Giveaway. There's no bomb in this world that would make anybody do anything if you were not doing something together with them that was meaningful. I'm just telling you, people are not that cheap. This guy makes it sound like you can just bomb people and they're just going to fucking go along with you. No, that's not actually how it works. If that was the case, wouldn't Israel and Palestine already been solved? That shit is 100 years now with assholes like this leading the whole thing.
He showed up and said no more. Or Iran's pursuit of a nuclear bomb, and he said, how about we send B-2s, 37 hours?
But they stopped with Obama, and these people dissed Obama. You see what I mean? You can't have peace in the Middle East without bringing Iran to the table. That's what Obama did with the nuclear deal. What did Trump do first day in office? Fuck that nuclear deal. Then what happened? War. Now he's acting like a B-52 is going to stop them. So what's it going to be next week? You don't even know. They don't even know if they have any nuclear bombs. No one knows. Who did you send into Iran to verify anything? Nothing. Nobody. But they got money. I'm telling you, these motherfuckers are jiggy with the American people's tax dollars. They are ballers. When he goes out, this motherfucker is like, he's going to head to the casino and spend some more US dollars right after. He got a hot hand. That's exactly how he talks.
Over to take care of that, to ensure that they
Make sure you don't give over the house. Make sure you don't sign over the house to the casino. And it looks like he's on his way.
don't have a nuclear bomb. Or how about defending our own shores? 0 people crossing our border right now, because for too long we had an invasion of folks, and we don't know who they are and where they're coming from, crossing our borders.
We don't know who they are. We don't know where they're coming from. They're fucking Americans, motherfucker. From the other side of the goddamn. What the hell is he talking about? You don't know what a Mexican? You don't know what El Salvadorian? You don't know a Guatemalan? You don't know a Panamanian? What fucking school you go to, man? Why you in government? What the hell? Why you send your ship out to places you don't know nothing about?
Poisoning our communities with drugs. I would not want to be
Look, listen, y'all. Motherfucking Americans want drugs. Okay? Goddamn. Let's just make it plain. They like their cocaine. They like smoking their shit. They like snorting it. They like all that shit you're giving them, because a lot of Americans need medicine. Look, they need some cheap medicine. That's really what it is. People just like alcoholism. Motherfucker want to forget some shit. You see what I'm saying? Times are hard. Not easy to face things. Not easy to face failure in life. So a lot of people choose to get high. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, choose to use drugs. You see what I mean? But then again, you know, if they have a drug problem and the root of their problem is some kind of psychological pain or some kind of turmoil, they're just going to go from whatever drug they used to have and can't get over to a new drug. That's what happens. That's just what happens, man. You know what I mean? And this guy, he doesn't even know his own American people. All those people he talked about, you know what I'm saying, out there, you know, any of them could have families could have actually been in the Civil War, could have actually been in the War of Independence. And today they have a descendant that for some reason or another happens to be a drug addict, happens to not have a job. And what does he do for Americans like that? Tell you, go get a job if you want health care. Stop begging. Stop begging. That's what they tell them. Literally. I'm not exaggerating one fucking bit. Then, while these people who likely a lot of them maybe could have been in the military. A lot of them maybe have gone to school, maybe have studied, maybe have done some great things. More than Pete Hegseth. And this motherfucker got the job, the head position to lead the military. What the fuck did he do to deserve that? You see the difference? And he's still a motherfucking drunk.
be in a drug boat in the Caribbean right now.
In the Caribbean right now. Right now. Oh, really, huh? Yeah, sounds to me like some old bigoted shit. Just looking for some Caribbean people to blow up.
We defend our own homeland. And we
See, you see what I mean? We defend our own homeland. I don't know. It's just not sounding like it sounds when a lot of other people say it. I'm just saying it. It doesn't sound too convincing to me. Like, I don't see what it is. Like, does he have deep roots in the USA? Like, what the fuck is he talking about? Our homeland. Like, he gets to talk about this shit. Meanwhile, you know, in reality, if you really do have deep roots in the United States and you just so happen to lose your job, your ass could be out on the street and people like him would be saying, get a job. You could have a family member that's sick and you need to have health care and you can't afford it. And this motherfucker would be like, get a job. You're lazy. Stop being lazy. I'm just saying, it's just something for American people to think about now. I'm just saying, keep in mind, he's the one looking for immigrants. Does he have deep roots in the United States of America? No.
we will do that. So it's America first, it's peace through strength, but it's also common sense.
No, it isn't. It's not common sense. It's not. It's ignorant. It's dumb what he's doing. It's Common sense. Who the fuck you been around, Pete Hegseth? Some morons, yo, idiots. Common sense. Who the fuck? People are laughing at him. He's committing crimes on the high seas. He's sending the military to use a bomb, a missile that costs $1 million to blow up a ship that costs $300. And yes, in front of the world, and telling people, hey, we just kill him. We don't need to announce war. We just kill him. Man, this guy is going to the Hague. They're going to try him in the Hague. The United States will have the international court after these people. Like, you know, of course, the U.S. is going to be like, but I mean, will the next U.S. government turn them over? Because you could be sure somebody like Venezuela, some people are going to demand that there's some justice on the international court stage. So, you know, just so those of you who think what he's doing is okay, I would say, as long as it's not you, right? I can understand you clapping it up. Yeah, go ahead, do that shit, Pete. Go ahead, Pete. Yeah, you do that, Pete. But I would never do it. But, you know, I can understand people that clap it up for Pete because he's the motherfucker that's going to go to jail for giving the order. His name is on that. The family name of Hegseth is going to be on some Hague documents. Pete Hegseth. Yeah, he is. That's just, you know, it may be the first Americans the United States government turns over to the international court. Like, really, seriously, but hey.
You hear it and you see it all the time. I have a great pleasure of watching President Trump on a daily basis.
There he goes. Trump sycophant again, on Trump's nuts again. I have so fucking what? He makes it act like Trump is like motherfucking Michael Jordan or something. What the fuck? I have the pleasure of hanging out with Trump every day. Don't you know how great that is? Man, that's lame. That is lame. That's whack, man. Trump, he got people popping up everywhere. Shit, the last thing we heard Tuesday this week was somebody else came out and said he heard Trump trying to find, what's that dude's name on the OMB, Office of OMB? What's that dude's name? Trump was out there trying to allegedly find him some sex at Mar-a-Lago, literally just in 2002, something like that. Like literally. You want to hang out with him?
In private meetings and meeting with foreign leaders as we're planning. And the application of common sense, as you know, is not all that common.
Coming from him, that sounds real fucking strange. The application of common sense, you know, isn't that common. Okay, I don't know what it means when it's coming from him.
In Washington, D.C. Well, when you apply it, it makes sense and you get things done. And one of those things we're doing at the Department of War, welcome to the War Department, is we're applying common sense. We're getting back to basics. It's actually, again, not that complicated. We're going to ensure
he's repeating himself.
That we train, that we're equipped, that we hold people accountable, that we maintain.
I'm trying to get to the part where he says, well, and diversity is not what makes us straight. And then I'm going to go over to MAGA Mike.
Maintain discipline, that we focus on lethality and readiness and war fighting. All the types of things that you signed up to do. Now, for too long, in a previous administration, iterations of administrations.
Yo, I'm sorry. I forgot to say what's up to the chat. Yo, Evum 4876. I hope I said that right. Yeah, this man he's a yes man for Trump. This motherfucker. What is this, man? This is pathetic. And this is your tax dollar. And I guarantee you, man, he's burning a hole in your pocket.
There was a phrase, it's the dumbest phrase in military history. And that phrase is, our diversity is our strength.
There it is. The dumbest phrase in military history is, our diversity is our strength. Yo, listen, y'all, let's stop right there as Americans right there. Look, Americans, we've been through a lot of struggles. But it doesn't matter. Even a bigot, even if you want to erase every presence of every Mexican and every African American from the whole history of the United States of America understand one thing. Diversity would have still been its strength. Do you know why? Because guess how many different people from different peoples came to the United States in the colonial period? How many different peoples do you think that is? All right, let's give an example. Okay, we got my homeboy reminded me about this. We got, let's say, Plymouth Rock. What was that? The boat that landed on Plymouth Rock? The blah blah blah. Everybody knows the story. I'm sorry if I forget the boat. Is it the Jamestown or something like that? Well, there's a boat. The boat came from what is it? Damn, now where's Amsterdam? Amsterdam is in Holland, right? Yeah, the boat comes from Holland, I believe. Right? Now, the people on it, these pilgrims, right? If I got Jamestown or something like that mixed up, the boat, whatever the boat is that landed at Plymouth Rock, that boat was coming from, I believe that was Holland, right? If it wasn't Holland, it was Belgium, one of them, right? But the people on the boat, some of the people on that boat, a lot of those people on that boat, they were exiles from another country. They were running from persecution. And the type of Christians that they were able to hide in Holland or Belgium. The king of Belgium or queen gave them permission to hide there. They gave them sanctuary because they were being persecuted in a different country, in a different kingdom. Then that boat came to the United States of America with different people on it. And those were one of the people. And guess how many other people came just like that? Look, you got the Spanish. Guess who came on the Spanish ships, right? Just to keep it real, just to give you an idea of how this works. Spain, guess who came with them? Well, you had a lot of crypto. Since it was the Inquisition in Europe, right? Guess what? Pete Hegseth, have you ever heard about the Inquisition? Well, the Inquisition meant that you had to convert to Christianity. Different people of different religions were forced to convert or get the fuck out of Spain. Many Jews converted. A lot of them converted to Christianity, right? They came on those ships. They're called crypto Jews. They came on those ships, right, to America. Guess who else came on those ships? Crypto Muslims. Yes, they did, from the Iberian Peninsula and from North Africa. They came on those Spanish ships, crypto Muslims. They came with the Christians who largely, some of them were descendants of Goths. Some of them were just on the Iberian Peninsula early. They're all mixed up. It's a mixed bag of people, even though it's under the, Christianized Spain. It's still a mixed bag of people. You see what I'm saying? And this guy is acting like diversity is not a fucking strength. Are you out of your motherfucking mind, Pete Hegseth? Is this the dumbest thing that you ever heard a person say? So even if you remove the Negroes of Africa, by the way, that were a huge part of the founding of America, the new countries all over, North, South, Central, right? Not the only, but part of the new founding, the immigrants, right? Even if you remove them, even if you remove the native people, goddamn, the Europeans are still diverse. You see how dumb this motherfucker is? Just the Europeans themselves are a diverse group. You see how stupid this asshole is? He's insulting even to Europe. He's insulting to colonial America history. He's just fucking insulting. Anyway.
You see, I look out at this crowd and I see a lot of diverse faces. A lot of faces.
By the way, this stream is called Federal Government, United States Federal Government. Stop begging for money from Americans. Stop begging. Go get a job.
Black, brown, white, and otherwise. From small towns, from big cities.
Anyway, you can hear this motherfucker needs another job. Get a job, Pete Hegseth. Damn, your speeches are fucking boring. God damn. This is the most boringest goddamn speech I've. Boo. It was lame. You get Hey, put a number from 1 to 10. You tell me what this speech was worth. How does it strike your bones? Does it hit? Do you get a sense of electricity up your spine when you listen to Pete Hegseth? Was it a 10 or was it a 0? You could give it a 5. You could give it a 1. You could give it an 8. What would you give that speech? I mean, damn. I don't give that speech shit. Okay, that speech is just a waste of every goddamn thing. Yeah, 4 zeros, 5 fucking zeros. I mean, I'm just keeping it real, y'all. I don't want my American brothers and sisters and compatriots, all of us, none of us, no matter what color we are, no matter what background we have, no matter what our religion is, no matter your sexual orientation, any of this shit, gender, male, female, I don't care. I care about your brain. This is dumb what he's saying. This motherfucker didn't even go to elementary school in America. Apparently, I learned about colonial history in fucking middle school and elementary. I was in middle school writing shit about other countries too. You know what I'm saying? Nigeria. Fucking middle school. You know what I'm saying? What was that? 12 years old. Fucking doing a report on Nigeria. What makes up Nigeria? What is the government like? Blah, blah, blah. What's their national dish? Shit like this. This dude don't even know. I mean, but that's what I can say for Washington, D.C. public schools. Big up to everybody that went to Julius Hobson Middle School on Capitol Hill. Big up to everybody that went to that school. Big up to everybody went to Peabody Hobson, you know, the cluster schools. Big up to y'all. You know what I'm saying? I was one of the first to go to the cluster schools. I'm one of the first generation to go to the cluster schools, you know, on Capitol Hill. Now, and a lot of my homies too, from Northeast, from Southeast, from that side of the hill, right? We all know each other. Big up to y'all, everybody, right? Now, that speech was just patented ignorant. You don't belong in Washington, motherfucking Pete Hegseth. Get the fuck. They need to dump your ass in the fucking ocean. Never return. If he has that poor speech about America, imagine what his speech about his ancestors from Norway sound like. You know what I'm saying? Just nothing there, nothing. The man knows nothing about he don't know nothing about Ace of Troll. He doesn't know nothing about the Vikings. He doesn't know nothing about today. Anyway, his sick ass Mike Johnson. Oh my God, this is just lame, just goddamn lame. Where was the Mike Johnson's shorts? Come on, give me the history. He had a speech. It was lame as hell. Where the hell is the speech at? Can I find it? Let me see something. Let me just open this up a little bit. Come on, y'all. Give me Mike Johnson. Give me lame ass Mike Johnson, please. Yes, he gave a speech. Here it is. Thank you. Let's go, y'all. Let's go to Fox News.
White House, when they know
blah, blah, blah.
that they...
Let's go to lame-ass Mike Johnson. Him and his Republican sycophants ready to lie. They're just ready to fucking lie to you, you know, just going to insult you some more. And by the way, I'm just going to start off by saying, Mike Johnson and the rest of you all in this meeting, stop begging. This is their version of begging. Basically, that's what I call it. You just go out there and see if you can get, you know, it's called a hustle. You know, some beggars got to hustle now. Don't get me wrong. All the pet beggars don't just come out with a cup and shake it like, can I get $1? They don't all come out like that. Ain't got any change? No. Some of them are motherfucking hustlers. Like, goddamn, you ever been hustled? This is what it looks like. You know what I'm saying? When you're dealing with tax dollars, this is what the real hustlers look like. This is what the real hustlers look like. Look, they're going to come out in their fucking suit, act like they're going to sell you. You know, they're going to sell you a vacation home that doesn't exist. They're going to make excuses why, hey, just give me some more of your money, man. You know, the deal went bad. It didn't work out last time, you know. Come on, but just keep paying in. Sooner or later, it'll turn around. Isn't that what Trump always do? Isn't that what Trump's been saying? It's going to turn around. Just give it time. Just give it time. Just give it time, y'all. It's going to turn around. It's coming. You just have to let the tariffs work. That's what he's been saying. It's called a hustle. And thank God I grew up in Washington, D.C. because people don't take kindly to getting hustled. for their money. You know what I'm saying? You hustle me like that. You take the time to put on a motherfucking suit and sit there and talk to me all calm and gaslight me, and then you hustle me. It's called the Washington Hustle. Hustling for the change. Hustling for your tax dollars. You know what I'm saying? This is what it looks like. Bring the little short midget out. The one with no soul to come lie to you. Here it is. Professional fucking hustler. MAGA Mike Johnson. Here he is. Look at him. Short little line bastard. Yep. He's going to hit you with that little fucking yamp, yamp, yamp voice.
All good.
Oh, it's all good. Oh, is it all good? No, it ain't all good, motherfucker. They coming for you. And when the people that voted for you finally realize that you fucking hustled them like this, woo, I can't wait. I can't wait till all those red states figure out that you had just hustled them. You just, I mean, it's going to be a day of reckoning for MAGA Mike Johnson and the rest of them.
Good morning, everybody. Here we are again. It's day 29.
MAGA Mike Johnson, stop fucking begging. Stop begging from the American people. Get a fucking job. Get a fucking job, MAGA Mike Johnson. Stop begging. It's nothing more pathetic than a man who has to come out on stage and beg for American citizens' tax dollars day after day after day after day. Like he doesn't know how to leave the casino on time. MAGA Mike Johnson, you don't know how to take the crack pipe from your lips? You don't know how to do that just for one goddamn day? Come on, man.
The Democrats shut down, and things are getting real.
It's a Democrat shutdown. So he come to your house after he done smoked all the crack up, after he done blew the wallet up inside the casino, and then what does he come with? This guy, it was the Democrats that did it. Democrats did it, y'all. They stole my money. It was a Democrat hustle. You know what I'm saying? They made me buy the crack. It was the Democrats that made me buy the crack, y'all. I don't have y'all money.
Really tough for the American people. The Democrats are coming near now to a cliff that they will not be able to turn back from, and it's of great concern to everyone who's paying attention to all this. You will note that more air traffic controllers and TSA agents.
So in other words, MAGA Mike Johnson is going to cap for every unqualified head of any agency that Trump appointed. People that had no background in nothing. No background in nothing. And now he's going to, he act like Democrats fucking nominated their ass. Let me nominate Pookie from fucking Allenstown, blah, blah, blah. Let me argue Shaniqua. Let me nominate Shanae from Martin. She going to be, head of fucking CIA, Shanae. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what they literally did. They put people up like, let me get the dude who got the podcast. What's that fucking podcast called? You know what I'm saying? That's what he did. Look, if I get 1 million views, I could, according to them, I could be the director of the CIA. I could be the director of the FBI. If I get 1 million views, that's all it takes. And I'm going to tell you, I would do a way better job than motherfucking this bastard Kash Patel. Like, man, these people are fucking dumb. They're idiots. These people are pathetic. They're pathetic. They're pathetic, and he's capping for them. He's capping for them. If the woman version, of Kash Patel is just a lady who got like loads and loads of makeup on her face. You know what I'm saying? Not dissing the ladies that use, know how to pretty up and things like that well, use makeup well, but I'm talking about caked on shit. Shit that takes motherfucking time to take off. You know what I'm saying? Like, goddamn. Who got time for all of that shit when you in government? I'm just saying, who got time for that? Who got time for it? You can look, they got more makeup than anyone else in government right now. Anybody, but
Agents and park rangers are about to go without a paycheck. You've got families and children that rely upon SNAP benefits that are going to go hungry here at the end of the week. You've got more critical workers, by the way, including the people who are the stewards of our nuclear defense arsenal.
Ooh, nuclear defense arsenal? Nuclear defense arsenal? So let me ask you, every American right now, what's more important to you? since we started off talking about what percentage of the U.S. tax dollars that American pay actually go to affecting their actual lives directly versus how much of the tax dollars that Danes pay go to impact their lives directly. In Denmark, it's 70 to 75% of the tax dollars go to affect their lives directly. In the United States of America, it's 50 to 55 or 45 to 55% of your taxes go to affect your life directly. So I'm going to ask you this question. What would you rather have? A motherfucking nuclear bomb or affordable health care? You tell me. What would you rather have? A motherfucking nuclear bomb or SNAP benefits? You see what I'm saying? Sorry for y'all to work at the nuclear agency, but you people are losing. It's not your fault, but it just comes down to real hardcore choices. And when you treat the American people like this, where only 45% or 50% of their taxes that they pay goes to bettering their own lives, of course they would be like, man, fuck a nuclear commission. I choose my life first. Of course I choose to have my kids be able to eat sustainable food, food to sustain their lives with. Of course I choose a decent level of rent. Of course I choose a decent health care, affordable. Of course I would choose that. But listen to how he pivots to that. Also, the nuclear arsenal. Man, let me tell you something. It's their fault. The first day Trump did when he came in office was fire people from all the agencies. And now he got the nerve to talk about the nuclear arsenal people may not get paid. Are they worried about anybody that got fired from their job? Can they get paid? Any of those people that got fired from their jobs, you worried about them? No, they're not fucking worried about them.
We're forced to stay at home as the government remains closed.
We're forced to stay at home, Congress, because MAGA Mike Johnson called Congress out of session, even though he gets paid money to stay in session. Duh. And see, this is what I mean by the pimp. This is what I mean by the hustle. You see what I mean? The DC hustle. Fuck it. That's what I would call it, even though I'm from DC. But you know what I mean. This is the Washington, DC hustle. This is the shuffle they're hitting y'all with to beg, because they don't want to beg honorably with a cup. Ding a ding a ding. They want to hustle you, find a way to keep you paying tax dollars that don't have any impact on your motherfucking life. And by the way, why pay him? MAGA Mike Johnson, get a fucking job, man. Stop begging. You are a fraud. You do nothing valuable for America, for the United States of America, or fucking American people. You are a weirdo. Why are we paying you anything?
The Democrats own every one of these consequences. So we want to point out a couple of important facts this morning for you. It's no coincidence that polling this week confirms that over 70% of the American people believe the Democratic Party is out of touch.
Oh, really? No, 70% of the people believe the Democratic Party is out of touch. Let me tell you something. When people say out of touch, what the fuck do they say about you? What the fuck did you just rip down fucking the White House? You know what I'm saying? Like, this guy, you're out of touch. Why is it that your administration is doing shit that nobody else ever did? Is that not out of touch? You know what I'm saying? Like, Trump is literally he's running for a third presidency. This dumb motherfucker is that out of touch? Yes, it's delusional, because American people, they not gonna have it. That's delusional, homeboy. And yet he just had to go out there and throw it out there again. And MAGA Mike Johnson, I don't know about that. I don't know anything about that. He never knows anything about anything, too. Him and Trump, when you really ask him a real question. But this guy's talking about people believe the Democrats are out of touch. If the Democrats are out of touch, what the fuck is the Republican Party? You all just passed laws that hurt your own motherfucking voters. The people that voted for you, that's not out of touch. At least the Democrats said, hey, don't fuck with health care. Hey, don't fuck with SNAP. And believe me, folks, or actually don't believe me, but look it up. It's your responsibility to know. They have the SNAP money. The SNAP money has nothing to do with the shutdown. You know, and these guys, they're actually pretending like it does. But you heard Trump say, I can get 130 million for the military to pay them. Oh, really? Why don't you get some billions then? Why don't the billionaires cough up some money for SNAP? Wouldn't that be a great idea? Instead of begging. You know, all this is fancy hustle. This is privileged hustle. Hustle that the American people starting to wake up from. The more American people figure out how much their taxes go to shit that benefits them versus somebody else, the more they wake up every day. And I'm so happy for Trump. I'm happy for a real bastard. You know what I'm saying? Because a real bastard is an opportunity to wake fucking people's eyes up. And that's what Trump and MAGA Mike Johnson are. They're waking your eyes up. They're letting you know they don't give a fuck about you. Nothing that they're doing has anything to do with American people. Zero. I'm telling you. I mean, it's my opinion, but, you know.
And amazingly to us, still every day, they turn their backs on more and more hardworking American families.
If you believe he gives a fuck about a hardworking family, you deserve to lose your fucking money.
To prolong their pain. And that is exactly.
You hear that? You know, to prolong gaslighting, to prolong their pain. No, people are willing to go through pain to get you and Trump administration the fuck out of their lives forever. Matter of fact, the Democrats and anybody else, I don't care what, it's not even about parties at this point. If you are a member, if you are a voter, if you have a representative and they're not talking about impeaching Trump right fucking now, then you are being taxed without representation, basically, because you ain't getting shit from Trump. Trump is getting billions of dollars from you. Elon Musk is getting billions of dollars for you, and you ain't getting shit. You're getting treated like you worse than a welfare recipient. You know, you're getting treated like a what do they call it? A motherless child. God damn. You know what I'm saying? That's bad. That's bad, straight up. And being talked down to. You know, MAGA Mike Johnson always says, able-bodied men. Well, you're an able-bodied man, MAGA Mike Johnson. Why the fuck are you begging? Why are you taking people's tax dollars? Get a fucking job, motherfucker. God damn, I hate this. A slime ball like him gets your tax dollars. That is just lame. That's a lame life.
Exactly what's being felt here. It is incredible to us that they've now voted 14 times between the House and Senate to reject the clean, simple funding bill that would simply reopen the government.
That's what the Hustler says. Isn't that cool how hustlers do that? They just make it your choice. Very simple. It's just clean. Come on. They just say it over and over and over. It's just clean. Even no matter if the other side says, man, goddamn, you are going to lose your house. You're going to either have health care. If somebody gets sick in your house, you're either going to lose your house or lose your child. If everyone else is saying that, don't do it. Plus, the cutbacks that they have for the big, beautiful, ugly bill, they're going to give the highest tax break to the billionaire class than ever in the history of America. People on the one side say that, and then he comes along and said, it's just a clean CR. It's just a clean CR. That's all it is. He's really hoping that ignorant people can't read. He's hoping that he's hoping that enough American people are politically illiterate, basically. And that's the scummiest kind of fucking person to pay. He doesn't care. I mean, that's so sad. I mean, you would be a disgrace in a lot of countries, MAGA Mike Johnson, like straight up. You would be a disgrace to the people in most civilized countries, like straight up. And I believe, I mean, every country got some people, but these Americans, there's one thing they say about Americans. We do everything big, either big bad or big good. And it's the same thing with MAGA Mike Johnson. You either have lots of integrity or you have none. And MAGA Mike Johnson, when it comes to integrity, he is at the bottom of the barrel. Like, this is like a man with nothing inside. Like, I would never do anything for any. I would never go out there. You can't play me like this. I can't go out there and lie for somebody everyone fucking knows is a bum like Trump over and over and over every day. What the fuck? Your kids got to watch this shit, man. The society has to look at you, man. Is that what you want to teach kids? You know what? Guess what? If a person is a slime ball and robs all the people, steals all the people's money, hey, man, guess what, man? It's just a job. You go out there and hire them. It's just a job. It's not your problem. Just a job that the leader is fucked up. As long as you get a check, that's just your job. That's MAGA Mike Johnson.
They have thumbed their nose at the American people in spite of their pain that they themselves have acknowledged. And as we've explained here, the motivation behind that is very clear. And this is why the polling is indicating what it is. The people know the Democrats are responding to fear. It is their
Do me a favor, click the like button, y'all.
fear of the most radical far-left voices in their party that has made them
Look at this. So let me go back to this since he's talking about this. Radical, he's calling people radical left, right? That's what he says, radical left. Okay, let's see here. So let's go back to this. What does this say? See? Right here, it says Denmark spends 70 to 75% of the taxes have direct benefits to your health, education, childcare, family, housing, and roads. 75% of the taxes Danes pay go to that. Direct benefit to their lives. 75%. United States, 45 to 55% of the taxes go to the same thing, right? Healthcare, education, childcare, family, housing, and roads. So where the fuck does the other half go? To bitches like MAGA Mike Johnson, straight up, and you better believe it. It goes to Elon Musk. It goes to Trump, right? It goes to just these cornballs, man. These foul ass people that you know. It is what it is. That's how they do things, you know? And it's, but that's where it goes. It goes to a waste. It doesn't benefit you. It doesn't go to help your life at all. It doesn't do nothing. It's just out the window. It's burnt. 50% of the taxes you pay. I'm talking about the federal tax dollars. Burnt. Just in general, just burnt out the window. Maybe it's a little bit of the state too, but you could get into more of that. It doesn't matter. There's more details in this, but the bottom line is 70 to 75% of the taxes people pay in Denmark go to those things: health, education, childcare, family, housing, and roads. 45 to 55% of the United States taxes people pay go to the same benefits. So where does the other 50% go? That's 25% more than, out of your pocket that goes to some shit that you will never see. Like what he says, a nuclear bomb. MAGA Mike Johnson, how much does he get? He gets something like $200,000 a year, and he probably got some stock options and all kinds of illegal shit going on the side.
decide to obey the demands of the far left and to shut down the entire government and thereby inflict all this pain on the people. And almost comically at this point, the Democrats are still out trying to convince you that this is somehow Republicans' fault. But the facts are the facts, and the American people can see that very clearly. They see the truth. We brought you a handy scorecard here so you can, follow the votes. I mean, this is very simple. The votes to pay the troops and federal workers and continue SNAP benefits and get air traffic control.
Now, these same, it's so funny because, the way he talks about it, again, when you want to know, when it comes down to who is paying it, the troops, who pays your salary? Who's paying the troops' salary? Is it the troops that pay the salary? Or is it the American people? People that aren't in the military? And do they count? Do the American people's lives count at all? Does the average American's life count? Or is it that the military's lives counts more than the average everyday person? Do only the federal workers' lives count? Or is it that the federal workers' lives count? Hold on, what did I say? Is it that the American people's lives in general count more? You tell me. Which way should it be? You tell me in the chat. and I'm not dissing the military. I respect the military. I respect federal workers. I respect government. But we ain't talking about regular days here. You know, so we may as well use this opportunity, this shit that's going on with the Trump as an opportunity to fix shit, get shit right, have a real conversation instead of the same old bullshit conversation this dude is having while he spends your tax dollars, while he's burning it up. He's getting lunch, and loads of everyday American people ain't even going to get lunch for their kids. And you're paying for it, but you can't even afford lunch for your kids while you have a fucking job. You know, so you tell me this. Who's more important? Are the American people that pay the taxes, are they more important than the federal workers who get their money to have a job? Are the taxpayers of the United States or the citizen, are they more important than the military people? It's just a fair question to ask. So if you think the taxpayers are the citizen is what is most important, just the citizen, shouldn't matter what kind of citizen, all citizens. If you think all citizens are more important than just the federal workers, put a 1 in the chat. If you think all citizens, just all of us together, are more important than just the military people by themselves, if you think the American citizen is number one, should be number one in this equation, put a 1 in the chat. If you think, what's more important is the military, they're more important, or the federal government is more important, the federal workers are more important than the citizens of the United States of America, then you put a 2 in the chat. I want to see, because I'm going to say 1, and I'm saying that I have love and respect for military. Shit, I got friends that's been in the military. My father was in the military. But when we talking about real clarity about this shit, they supposed to be all about us in the first place. So what's the point in paying for them to have health care when you got a job and you can't even fucking afford it? And you paying them and you can't even fucking afford it. What's the point? So I'm just saying, I think I'm saying some rational shit here, you know, and I hope no federal workers gets offended by what I'm saying. But this is what the holdout is about. And MAGA Mike Johnson is trying to divide Americans. Meanwhile, he's on the side of a bunch of corrupt ass bastards. You know, who the fuck did Trump ask to tear down the motherfucking White House? Who did he ask? You know what I'm saying? Who did he ask to before Kristi Noem gets 2 jet airplanes to herself? Who did they ask? Who did they ask? You know what I'm saying? Elon Musk is running amok. He's out there threatening nations at the same time he's threatening our nation in social media. At the same time he's getting federal tax dollars. Doesn't that sound like a conflict of interest? He's supporting, financing. He basically is the reason why Trump is the president. I mean, if you want to go by votes, Trump wasn't going to win that election, you know? And Elon Musk came along and saved his life. For what? You know what I'm saying? And these people are getting all your tax dollars. Elon Musk is getting your tax dollars. Why does the richest man on earth need any American citizen's tax dollars? You know? Where he goes from this position, he might burn a hole in the motherfucking globe. He might suck all the energy out of this bitch and just leave. Like, really? He sucks up everything. You know, he's just getting too much. You know? Anyway, I'm tired of MAGA Mike Johnson. Did he say something important here outside of gaslighting? No, I don't think he said anything important. You know, myself, I don't think he said anything important. He's just showing that he needs a motherfucking job. This is not the job for him. He's wasting our money. We can do better. This guy answers to no one, only Trump. You know what I mean? And he's living in a delusional world of his own where people like myself that aren't worried about what happens to me if I get in an accident because I have universal health care. He's telling you all that there's something wrong with me. He's telling you that because my kids get a stipend to go to school, any school they want to, technical school, university, whatever else kind of school you want to call, right? That is something wrong with me because my kids can do that and yours can't. It's something wrong with me. I'm the one who's crazy. I'm the one who's really nuts because 75% of my tax dollars goes to shit that helps my life directly, and I'm the crazy one. I'm just telling you, I'm here to say the shit that American citizens should say. You deserve it. You are worth it. You are better than that. You are not a slave, but they're treating you like you're a slave. And if you accept it, I don't fucking accept it. I'm just telling you, you can do something about this. You can talk about it more. Have these conversations more. Have these conversations more. Let me just get out of this MAGA lame ass. This is a lame ass, yo. This guy is so fucking lame. I'm disgusted. It's only because I don't have dumb weirdos like this in my life, man. I have decent people in my life. People that do a lot of great things, have a lot of knowledge about many different all kinds of shit. This guy's a loser, man. He's a loser. He is a loser. Like, he have one of the most important jobs in the USA, and he is a fucking loser, man. He is a loser. Like, that is just a path to destruction, man. This guy doesn't have a caring bone for the American people in his body at all. It doesn't matter what your color is. Doesn't matter what your gender is. It doesn't matter. He don't care about nobody. These people are cancer. They're sick. They're sick. And this is the best they got to show of the United States of America. You go to any other Western country on earth and people, they could never do this kind of bullshit to their own people. That's why you got Canada looking at Americans like, what the fuck? Like, what is going on? What's up with the values? These guys, man, if this is what you want, if this is what you go for, you can't, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say, but let me just get out of this. Let me go in the chat. Let me just go in the chat before I take it to the news. Let me see here. Oh, look, somebody said air control says they're going to be crashes. This is danger. Well, Trump came into office and fired a whole bunch of air contractors. He didn't give a fuck what anybody said. He fired them. Airplanes crashed. Helicopters crashed. People survived. Oh, well. Didn't stop him. Didn't stop Trump from firing anybody. Too bad. That was an example everyone learned from. Can't take it back now. And it is really sad, but these same people ain't going to be able to afford shit anyway. If Americans only thinking about themselves, shit, you ain't going to get past this one. Because there's always going to be a sellout. What you going to do when all of a sudden they tell you, you don't have any Second Amendment anymore. We just got rid of that. What you just going to do? Go to work tomorrow? No First Amendment. What you going to do? Go to work? This is what time it is today. Any of your rights that you're willing to give up right now, including the right to even have a decent wage, that's out the fucking window. You're entering into this part. You don't know what this dude is firing people all the time. He doesn't follow the rules. So if people bend to him, you just prolonging your own bullshit. You're just prolonging it. But I hear that though. But I'm telling you just prolonging it. He's going to fire more. The man said it himself. He is going to gut. Read Project 2025. Read it. They don't care about none of this, man. They don't care. They don't care. I'm telling you, if Americans don't stand together on this right now, it's only your fault. It's only your fault, It's only your fault. You have to deal with what you decide for yourself. But I'm an American citizen. I live outside of the U.S. So, And people are making more rational decisions outside of the U.S. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like Europe and Canada can't believe what's going on. And they can't. They can't fucking believe, man. They in shock. And it's not out of hate for Americans. They're just like, this is weird. Like, don't get me wrong. They believe Americans have the right to choose whatever they choose. And if Americans don't want Americans to be safe, if Americans don't want every child having a breakfast, if Americans don't want every young person having access to education, if Americans don't want every American having access to healthcare, then hey, they accept that that's not what y'all want. But this is even worse. This is even worse. This is not anymore about a conversation about how to do it best. This is about, they ain't even just fucking trying to, they're taking your money. You getting hustled. You are getting hustled. 50% of your tax dollars goes to some shit that has nothing to do with your life at all. Denmark, 70 to 75% of the taxes people pay has something to do with their life directly. Healthcare, education, childcare, something they call Basel. It's parent leave. When you have a child, each family has a year leave, right, from their job. It's not unemployment. They get the same salary. It's their job that pays it. You see what I'm saying? Union jobs, they do have some thing where they monitor how much you get paid so that you're not stuck in working at a job that doesn't pay rent nowhere in the vicinity, just nowhere in an hour's distance. Nowhere can you find it. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, man, that shit's illegal, man. It shouldn't even have to come down whether it's illegal or not. Why would you treat another American that poorly? Why? That only comes back to you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's all I'm saying. It's like Americans got to take a real deep look in themselves and ask themselves, is this shit going well or not? Like, is it going well or not? And be ready to make some changes, because they already passed the bill. And that was the big, beautiful, ugly bill. And that bill is suicide for your ass anyway. If they fund this government, you're finished anyway. If they fund this government without making changes in that big, beautiful, ugly bill, you are finished. You just have to understand that you're fucked for some years. You just gonna waste. You wasted a year. All of this Trump shit, you may as well say goodbye to any savings that you have. Say goodbye to any security that you have. Any that you built up for years. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, because you wanted a crazy man on deck and you refused to do anything about it. I'm just saying, yeah, this is not looking good. But let me just get to the regular news, y'all, real quick. I just wanted to go over this real quick and just illustrate that this is a waste of money. Pete Hegseth's speech, that was a waste of motherfucking taxpayer dollars. That whole meeting, just MAGA Mike Johnson, fuck it. Don't show up to work anymore, MAGA Mike Johnson. You just depress people. You remind people that they spend tax dollars on people like you out of their paycheck. That even the poor people are like, where's the knife? Let me just get it over with right now. When they see MAGA Mike Johnson, they're like, I actually paid this motherfucking salary. Man. I'm really at a loss for that shit. I'm really at a loss for it. But let me see here. Let me take this up 2 seconds. I know I've been ragging on about that, but it's been on my mind. It's really been on my mind, y'all. And I wanted to be able to leave that message to folks, leave my views about what I think about that, and so people know. So you don't have to guess. You don't have to try to figure it out for yourself what I think. No. This is what I think. I took the time to say it to people, and some morons out here, bro. Some morons for real. But in any case, let me see something. Is it the shorts? Let me go over to the shorts here. Can y'all see this? Let me see. Is it here? Oh, right. It's here. Let me go to this one. Let me pull the wrong one up here. Let me see here. Boom. Take that off. Put this on. Is this one. All right. So, what the hell is this? This is these monkeys. Y'all heard about the monkeys. Let's go.
As far as we
monkeys.
know, we're just being housed at a research center.
Some lab
that
monkeys.
escaped in Mississippi.
Some lab monkeys just escaped a trailer, a 18-wheeler that crashed on the highway, you know, and they're from a lab, you know, and they could have had COVID, they could have had herpes, they could have had anything, and oops, they escaped. Some of them were shot dead. Other ones, it's like 3 of them they're still looking for. And then later it got changed to no, they don't have herpes and no, they don't have COVID, but they don't know who they belong to. So
Authorities are searching for 3 lab monkeys that escaped in Mississippi
let me know if there's been an update.
yesterday, and that was after a truck that was transporting them from Tulane University crashed. Sheriff's officials said that the truck's driver mistakenly told deputies at the scene that the primates were aggressive and carried several infectious diseases.
Based off of that information, they say they, quote, took the appropriate actions to destroy the rest of the monkeys. Tulane University later released a statement saying the primates were not infectious, and it says the monkeys belong to a third-party research organization. NBC News correspondent Kathy Park joins us now. So, Kathy, what is the latest on those 3 monkeys that are still on the loose? Do they pose any threat to the public?
Yeah, Vicki, this was certainly a wild escape, and believe it or not, it's still a developing story. And as of this afternoon, according to the Jasper County Sheriff's Office, 3 monkeys, as you mentioned, still on the loose, and an unknown number of escaped monkeys have been killed. Initially, though, officials reported that these
And Frank was with him too. Frank's one of them. Where's Frank's ass at? Frank jumped out also, and now he's in my chat. What the fuck?
primates were carrying diseases, including herpes and
Yo, click like, y'all, please.
COVID. But then later on, in a statement from Tulane University where they were being housed, they said that the animals were not infectious, had no disease prior to transport. But regardless, these are...
Yeah, what does that mean? Prior to transport, they didn't. They had herpes and COVID, but prior to the transport, they didn't. What the fuck does that mean? Prior. Do they have it or not? Like, come on, you know? Just let us know something. Were they cured of it or not? I mean, they don't say, but they were cured of it before they escaped,
lab
before they were shipped.
monkeys, not in their natural habitat. They're kind of roaming around right now. At least that's what we believe.
That's like
and
Pete Heck said. He ain't in his natural habitat. Yeah, now look, this is a little quick display of how MAGA people think. Like, look at this. I swear to God. Like, that's supposed to, you know, make me believe you. We have an old saying where I come from. People that swear to God are usually lying. But in any case, in no way do I believe that ever happened. They're talking about the FBI agents threatening U.S. citizens, even though people say, no, that happened. He said, bang, 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 and pointed a gun at me. All right. Now, no way do I believe that happened. I'm a Democrat. Notice he started off with, I swear to God. So by my logic, like I told you, people that start off with I swear to God, I usually assume they're lying, and I apply that to everything else they say. So this person says, I'm a Democrat, and I could tell when I'm being bullshitted. Oh, really? Can you tell when you're being because I'm a Democrat, and I can tell when I'm being bullshitted too, and I'm looking right at the bullshit. It's you. This shit I'm reading is bullshit. You really think this is a day and age with everyone filming and cameras that happened? Okay, so shit doesn't happen unless you see it on the camera. Okay, I got you. Trees don't fall down because there's no camera there. You know what I'm saying? Or do you not understand this? So what about women that get raped? It didn't happen because there was no camera there. I mean, listen to this motherfucker, man. No crime happens if there's no camera. Didn't exist. I'm not believing it. Damn. That's deep. What you gonna tell? I mean, most of the people in your life when there's no camera around and some bad shit happened to them, you know. But in any case, look, I call bullshit. Get the Oct video, which now has microphones. Oh, he want to get the CCT video and the microphones, and then he'll believe it, right? Now check this out. Look what I wrote. Nah, you're not a Democrat. A troll, possibly not a Democrat. Hold on, you're likely not even. Oh, I meant to say, and you're likely not even American, right? Now, Now, I went on and I said something else. I said, he went on to say some other shit. Oh, yeah, my father, I'm 55 years old. This is what he said. I'm 55 years old and my father and la, 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 and all this shit. And I said, yeah, but you don't have a videotape of it. So I don't believe you exist or your daddy. But this is according to the logic. If it don't have a camera, if it ain't on CCTV, I don't believe it, y'all. That's just what it is.
Hi, sir.
Now, check this
I
out.
found this map of SNAP enrollment in each county in America. Woo, that is a lot of red in red states. Oh, I know. Let me guess. That's all Democrat areas. Let's look at Alabama. Sure, there's a lot of red across the black belt that always votes left, but that's also the most impoverished part of the state. But there's a whole lot of areas on here that definitely voted for Trump.
All outside of that is Trump, and all outside of that, I mean, inside is all for Trump anyway. A lot of those people down there, they voted for Trump. Black too. A lot of black people voted for Trump down there. Maybe they felt pressured or something, but it don't matter. They all on Snap, you know.
It's kind of funny, but the people I know that would buy stuff with their EBT and then sell it to you cheaper for cash, the people I know that are on disability but also do home renovations, they are all hardcore MAGA. They the ones bitching about people abusing the system. Alabama has already announced that SNAP would not come in November. 750,000 people. 40 million people nationwide.
Now, look, you know, there was like 12 governors that went out and they fought this in court. They're going to get their SNAP money. Yeah, they fought in the court. But the governors that didn't, I don't know if the Alabama governor was on this court case, but it's just been adjudicated, you know. So I think on, you know, any day the judges, it's been adjudicated, but I'm not sure what they've done in the, you know, how far they've come along, like what they have actually said, what they have ordered. Matter of fact, I'm gonna look that up before I head out, just so everybody has a clear idea about what was said in that, if there was a court order given, right? But from what I heard, they lost it. You know, that the money is there and the money is going to have to be distributed by the government to 12 states. And then there's some others that weren't affected anyway. Like Virginia, they get their SNAP anyway. It's like 3 states that wouldn't have been affected at all by this. But in any case, let me let this play.
Why are there 40 million people on SNAP? Get a job.
Yeah, MAGA Mike Johnson, get a fucking job. Why do you need our tax dollars to pay your rent, MAGA Mike Johnson? Can you get off? Stop begging, MAGA Mike Johnson.
What part of the majority of the people do work, but still do not make enough to live, do you not understand, you sun-dried hairball? The question should not be, why are so many people on SNAP, but why are so many people employed and still make so little they qualify for SNAP? 40% of SNAP recipients are children. 20% are elderly.
Yep. Do Americans care about American children? And don't give me that bullshit about something about illegals are stopping you from caring about American children. Now, you're in the richest country on earth, the richest country that's ever existed. That's not a fucking excuse.
People who are already...
Before there was a legal problem, before you were talking about illegal immigrants, you didn't give a fuck about every child in America anyway. When has it been a time where the United States gave a fuck about every child and every other American? So that bullshit about this time around, it's the illegals that's stopping us from caring about every American. All right. You take us for fools. And they do. They take a lot of people for fools because you must have no conception of American history or the last 50 years at the least, you know, no idea. The last 30 years, even 40 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, since when has America given a fuck unilaterally about all kids? Since when have all kids just unilaterally had the right to education? Flat out. All people. Just flat out. When was the last time that was? If you didn't have the money. When was the last time that was? What about housing? Everybody, is everybody guaranteed housing that's a citizen? I mean, you know, or do you walk by homeless people every fucking day making excuses why, nah, we don't have enough money for that. It's the illegals that's stopping us to do that. Maybe the homeless person is a vet. Maybe the homeless person family was a vet. Maybe something happened to them while their parents were overseas in war. Who knows what the story is? If you don't care about Americans, you will never bother to ask them. You will never care enough to know.
Already expected, like $6 a day, being told there's no funding. I found this map.
So there's that red, all of it. And look, this is Republicans and Democrats. Why didn't the Republican people know that they were on SNAP? Because MAGA Mike Johnson and them and these Republicans, they always call something another name. Food stamps. You on food stamps. No, you're on SNAP, and so are you. All of y'all, because you don't make enough money not to be on SNAP because your employer don't pay you enough, or you don't have a fucking job in your state. But you are on disability, something, welfare, something in these red states too. This is not a black thing. Look, white Americans, and I don't like to racialize shit because the message overall should be the same to everybody. But I'm just going to do it this way because in the United States of America, there's a significant number of people that identify themselves as white. So you can't tell them, no, there's no group called white. No, they identify themselves. Then there's another group. There's other people too. The biggest group that gets SNAP is white Americans. The rest of it is divided by other groups, many different groups. You know what I'm saying? The rest of it's divided. You know what I'm saying? It's just that way, And yeah, but they didn't know that because somebody called it food stamps. No, it's SNAP. It's SNAP. Food stamps is SNAP. The proper name for food stamps is SNAP.
Of SNAP enrollment in each county in America. Woo, that is a lot of red.
Yeah, so people didn't know, just like healthcare. I don't want no Obamacare. We don't need Obamacare. I'm not Negro. I'm not a Negro. I'm not black. I don't want none of that Obamacare. I don't want none of that black healthcare. I don't need that. Yeah, it's called the American, what is it called? The American Healthcare Act, fool. It's not called Obamacare. Who called it that? MAGA Mike Johnson? So you would be like, I'm not a Negro. I don't want anything to do with the Negroes, so I don't want it. Yeah, it worked, didn't it?
Being exercised.
Right. Now, this is the judge. A judge has an order, right? And they've ordered in Chicago ICE to camera up because you can't have any conversation about what is going on, what your tactics are without a camera. Motherfuckers don't want to hear your testimony. They want to see you just like they want to see everybody else, the cops and everybody else. So ICE, since you want to do police work, you have to wear your cameras now in Chicago. But there's more to it. Check this out. She ordered the head of ICE or the commander of ICE. He got to show up to court. He got to show up to court like a motherfucking criminal every day for the next week. Mr. Johnson, can you say your name? Yeah, Mr. Johnson. Yeah, that's right. I don't know what his name is, but yes, he got to go to court, just like all the other criminals. Bring your ass to court.
Against the citizenry. I mean, we have these sort of roving border patrol outfits that are wandering around Chicago. Last time I checked, Chicago does not represent a border with another country, but they are, tear gassing protesters who are posing absolutely no threat at all to.
She ordered them no tear gas. No tear gas. You can't use that kind of shit anymore. Any place that there's any regular civilians, you can't just because somebody's protesting doesn't give you the right to start shooting canisters of tear gas. So everybody has to breathe it out. People that are just incidentally walking by, people that just live in the area.
Law enforcement officers. And there's a judge named Sarah Ellis who previously entered an order saying a couple of things.
By the way, this is Glenn Kirshner. I don't know if y'all know him, but he's doing the legal breakdown he's often on Brian Cohen's show, and they do it together. But Glenn has his own show also.
One, that these federal,
I think he's the general. What is he? General attorney, something like that. One of the federal attorneys or prosecutors here.
Agents must wear body-worn cameras so that everybody can see exactly what kind of law enforcement tactics they are deploying against the citizenry. And the other thing she ordered is that they may not engage in excessive force. For example, they may not tear gas. Border Patrol Commander at Large, which kind of sounds like a made-up title to me, ordered him to appear in her courtroom every single day for the next week while she litigates these complaints that have been filed with her, this lawsuit that has been filed, trying to beat back the excessive force, the unlawful police tactics that are being deployed against the people of Chicago.
Right. So, yeah.
Here's how to make your
So ICE has to show up to court, right? And then they got a lot of commercials now. ICE got to show up to court. The commander of ICE has to be there for a week, and he's got to explain everything. He's got to explain everything. How's shit going? Are you following my court orders? What's your excuse? And by the way, get a fucking job. Stop begging American people for a job. God, why do you need our money? God damn. Stop begging. Get a real job, fucking ICE commander. Jesus Christ, man. Why do American people have to pay for this bullshit anyway? I mean, in my mind, if you take illegal orders too many times, American people shouldn't have to go along with this bullshit. What the fuck? You can't just repeatedly find a new crime to commit and a new crime after that, then go to court and a new one after that. At some point, they just got to say, no, you gone. You motherfuckers is just finished, because you either know how to do things correctly and you show that you want to do things correctly, or you just show that you're just out to do shit incorrectly, and nobody should have to live through that. We're the one who pay your motherfucking salary. Like, seriously.
seen any evidence to support the administration's allegation that these are narco terrorists.
Right. So Trump has been bombing $300 boats. I mean, we already talked about that. That's so wrong. And where's it going to stop? So now you're just going to bomb people indiscriminately because you believe they're involved in narco? So what's somebody supposed to do in the U.S.? What are you supposed to do? So you can bomb somewhere else over narcos, but who can bomb us for gun distribution? Who can bomb us for distributing guns to Latin America? Who can bomb us for that? They like American guns. You see what I mean? And the president of Mexico already took Trump up on this before when he tried to target the cartels in Mexico. And she was like, wait a second, you're the one that's giving them all the guns, which are a problem for local government, for Mexican government to keep a hold of these motherfuckers. We're the ones giving the goddamn cartel the goddamn guns, the fancy guns. They're getting it from the U.S. Anybody stopping that from crossing the border? You see? Like, seriously, man, this is some shit. To me, it's just basic human rights. Like, if you give up your basic human rights, it's going to apply to everybody. It is, it shouldn't. And people shouldn't have to make bullshit a norm. Come on, man. Life should be more cool than this. Life should be more simple and more cool. You know what I mean? I like to travel to different countries by myself. Check out how things are. You know what I'm saying? If I need some help, ask somebody for help. If I need a person to guide me, pay a guide. See the beautiful nature. See the exciting things without having somebody hate me just because I'm American. You see what I'm saying? These actions and I know that these people, they know better to know that all Americans are not like this because we don't have a reputation for this. But this is where this shit is going. This stuff that Trump is doing when you're bombing this stuff, man. Come on, man. Like, goddamn. You know what I'm saying?
Well, no. Like Senator Paul, no, we have not seen lists of the individuals who were targeted. We have not heard what the protections are, what the checks are to make sure that these are, in fact, drug boats and not, human trafficking or fishermen or whatever.
No information at all. Nothing. American people aren't being shown nothing. Congress isn't being shown nothing. Nobody's being showed anything. Your tax dollars. Again, your tax dollars told Pete Hegseth that, you know what? I'm going to use the most expensive motherfucking rocket on this $300 boat. Because, hey, fuck it, man. I just got to try it. Macho man. That's gotta be totally insane. But who's paying for the rockets? Who's paying for all that shit? How much did anybody even ask how much it costs? I'm gonna ask that.
Whatever else they might be. You know, as somebody who's been involved with the intelligence community for a very long time, I'm very familiar with the incredible checks that we put on any lethal activity. A lot of it is counterterrorism around the world. It is a really complicated and careful thing to make sure that we're only taking out those people that we want to take out. And oh, by the way, I mean, let's not forget that this is not legal. Senator Paul said it exactly right. To use our military for lethal strikes abroad requires under the Constitution a congressional authorization. It's not debatable, really. And the administration is saying, oh, but no, these are terrorists. Now, they're not terrorists. They may be drug runners. We don't know that for sure. But just because you call somebody a terrorist, we call lots of people terrorists, doesn't mean that the military is authorized to go after them. And if no other reason, and look, I talked to an awful lot of people who, despite the fact that this is illegal, are comfortable with lethal action against purported, maybe, cartel members. You know, where does it stop? Do we now start executing drug dealers on the corners of Brooklyn?
Facts. Do we start doing that in Brooklyn? Now check this out. Let me see something. How much do the strikes on drug boats cost the American taxpayer so far regarding those ordered by Pete Kegbreath? Let's see here. Just so people get a good view. Let me can I pull this up now? Let me see here. Is it this one? No, is it this one? Or is it this one? Oh, you guys can see it. Right. Okay, here we go. So let me see here. What does this say? It's going to make it estimated, okay? Whoa. But without official published any figure. Okay. But don't they say rockets were used? Like, oh, here we go. So check this out. There are large indications. Oh, interdictions. There are large interdictions by the United States Coast Guard of drug smuggling vessels showing the value and illicit drug street value of materials seized. Okay. One case, 44,000 pounds of cocaine plus 3,000 pounds of marijuana valued at $509 million. Okay. But what are the costs for the weapons used? Okay. Let me see something. But what about the missiles and weapons used to blow up the targets? Let me see something. Did that not come out right? Let me see here. I'm just curious if they've published any information about what they've used. I mean, they're using some sort of missiles, some sort of rockets, because they're blowing up. The shit's blowing up from the sky. So let me know, how much do y'all think it costs, those kind of strikes? How much do you all think it actually cost? That would be way more effective. Okay, hold on for a second. Look at this. Hold on. So it came back with something. Okay, wet weapons platforms. Okay. It does depend on the specifics, but here we go. Check this out. Likely munitions and their unit cost, public sources. Okay. AGM 114 Hellfire, commonly launched from MQ-9 helicopters and some naval mounts. Widely reported unit costs range roughly $100,000 to $170,000 each. Public sources vary by variant and accounting method. Many estimates censor $150,000 per missile. Small cruise precision missiles, small guided rockets, other possibilities could be those cruise missiles, right? They could be $215,000 to $300,000 range. Okay. Platform operating costs, MQ-9 Reaper, official DOD, reimbursable hourly rates. List MQ-9A hourly rates around $9,000 per flight hour. Okay, range in documents. Okay, Other industry figures cite lower manufacturer hourly cost. Okay, $3,500 per hour, maybe. Okay, now putting those pieces together, simple per strike, arithmetic, example scenarios. Okay, minimum munitions, drone scenario, Hellfire use 150,000, 9,000, 30 equals 36,000, right? 4 hours, right? I guess that's how much these missions are taking, right? Intelligence, ISR, overhead, sortie, support, command, and comms, conservative 20 to 50,000. Okay, subtotal 206 to 236,000. Okay, each strike. More intensive drone, hell strike, typical mid case. Okay, so that would be a little bit more if depending on what the munitions are. It could be 500,000 per strike. All right. So cumulative cost to date, publicly acknowledged strikes. Okay, $2.6 million. That's the cheap range. The mid range would be $5.2 million. Okay. And if you include more complete operational costs, ship presence, carrier aviation support, logistics, total cost could be 20 million or higher, depending on how much of that deployed infrastructure you allocate. Okay. So, key uncertainties and why there's no single official number. Okay. Well, we know that this is just an estimate, and of course the Pentagon can tell people if they want, but we're dealing with a Pentagon right now with Pete Hegseth, and he don't want people to know. Right. So bottom line, it could be between 2 million, 2.5 million and 8 million, something like that. So far. Right. Isn't that what they said? Bottom line, concise. OK. Or is it per? Yeah, exactly. That's the cumulative. OK, here we go. So they can make a spreadsheet. But in any case, so that gives you an idea. Like me. To me, I don't trust nothing this government does right now under Trump. I mean, to me, it seems like they don't really know what they're doing. I mean, what's going on each time. If you burn and blow everything up, then what is there to bring back? They haven't presented any evidence to anybody. They haven't presented any evidence to the public. So that in itself is not a good space to stand when you are trying to convince people or get people to believe you, right? In my mind, that's just not what it is, right? That's not oops, damn, what happened? In my mind, that's not a good way to go about it. So what did I just do? Damn, what's going on here? All right, let me open that back up. Sorry about that. Video, YouTube. Okay, let me go back to this one. Let me open that back up and see. Yeah. So, in any case, my thoughts about it is this opening now? It's just shady, more waste. Generally speaking, I just think the U.S. now, it's like the debt has gone up. How much since Trump has been in office? Like what is the debt really like now? To me, it just seems like it's just out of control, and they don't really want to discuss it because it's not a good thing to discuss for Trump and these folks. But for me, I think it's worth discussing and focusing on because the American people are the ones that's going to have to pay all this money back. And it just doesn't seem like it's really going to be possible. So, and on that note, I'm out, y'all. I want to say thanks for coming out again. And it was good to catch up with folks. Let me see something. Let me read some of the like it if we have off would have made it okay. Of course not. Okay, Ibrahim. Okay, let me see. Y'all having a dialogue with each other? Eric, okay. They uploaded like 500 rounds and 20 rockets at one. God damn. 500 rounds and 20 rockets at one time on one boat. Oh, really? Damn. Are you serious? They're saying innocent people were killed in those boats. Probably there's no way we would even know. Yeah, I mean, it just seems like a total abuse of power, man. And to be honest with you, I mean, it's just my personal feeling, but it just seems like, well, let's just start off with the first principle. 50% of the tax dollars you pay when you're working doesn't go to anything you need in your life. Doesn't go to anything directly as an American citizen. As an American citizen where I live in Denmark, outside of the U.S., 70 to 75% of the taxes I pay impact my life directly. The other 25% is going to the military or going to other things that, maybe outside existential, like things that the average person doesn't really use day to day, right? And listen, with that said, Denmark got 80% of the power lines buried across the country. Why did they do that? In anticipation of storms and things like that, so power can stay on in shops and in homes when there's real flooding and real issues, right? You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that 25% should do for everybody across the country, like, real infrastructure things. And Denmark is working on infrastructure things, and it just seems to me like in the U.S., you pay a lot of taxes, but half of it goes to shit you don't even know that doesn't have any direct impact on your life. And on top of that, Trump, he canceled the infrastructure program for Biden. Like, that Biden plan was to bury power lines, so every time there's a storm, the power doesn't go out again, and everybody have to do all this regular shit again, this silly stuff all over again. At least your refrigerator can stay on when you have a storm. In the U.S., Trump canceled that shit. He's just like not even trying to help people in storms anymore. And storms about to come now. I guess the storm in the U.S. is happening right now, But, all right, y'all, I got to go. Please click the like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, if it's the first time you come in here or not. Maybe some people come here and listen, and it is, it's not the first time they've been here, but, they doing that. Now, this stream was pretty good. I want to thank everybody for coming out. I had like 16,000 viewers pretty much. And it's looking good. I want to thank everybody for supporting me. And I just want you to know I do this shit from the heart. You know what I'm saying? I do it from the heart. And I care about my country. And I don't just care about my country. I care about people, even outside of my country. But why would I care about people outside of my country and not even care about people in my country? You see what I'm saying? So I'm just keeping it real. I've been an activist outside of my country for human rights. But right now, my country's going through a lot of shit. And you got to do something to support your home, And, everybody's voice counts. Everything that anybody can do right now counts. My advice is be prepared to help each other. Communities, people that live together on blocks, organize. You know what I'm saying? Like, get ready to community organize to make things as easy as possible by doing something kind for those that need it. Organizing, especially for the young people and the elderly, right? Not that they're the only ones that count, but just that usually eases people's lives and tension when a parent knows they don't have to do something too crazy to feed their kid. When someone knows they don't have to do something too crazy to help a family member, you see what I'm saying? Those kind of actions tend to bring people together and bring solidarity. So I'm hoping that people do follow that and that lane of thinking, and don't fall for this hateful bullshit that Trump is on and this abusive stuff. I mean, Trump is just like an abusive pimp. Except the only thing is I ain't nobody's hoe. And I hope no American plays that game of being nobody's hoe. It's your tax dollars. Yo, do whatever you got to do to make these motherfuckers know it's your money that's paying for this shit. And you deserve respect. You demand respect too. All right. So on that note, I'm out. I appreciate everybody coming out. I'm going to get back with y'all real soon. Be good, y'all. One. Peace.
want war. Crime babies looking for food, starvation, the recipe, people subdued. When the people you trust got it in for you. Deceit is the word of the day in every crew. Don't let it go, it's from the days of old. Time is up, but some still do not know. Can I make up my mind? Is it worth the dime? Do I have to take a minute just to make it mine? Life's never fair, but don't listen to the TV. Go out and take a listen to the streets with the people in the slums and the homeless bums with degrees and degrees sitting under a tree. It's not easy in the world for the poor man, the one that brought you to reality. See, they don't want you to know about the black sheep. Even 7 roads to the 12 families all around the globe with an ancient code. Is it really asking a lot to say a dead old? Cause we sitting on the earth looking back at extinct, and I'm standing on some ground that's about to sink. I ain't scared for a minute, I ain't about to blink, but I documented for the world what I see and think. Feel we on the call and I feel we on the break. All Congress gonna do is waste paper and ink. Vote or die, you voted and you'll die. You can have it both ways, can't say it's a lie. You can march all you want, but they playing you wrong. They only understand war, it's the same old song. They want war, all they really want is a war. Diversionary tactic to make the big score. The diamonds in the morning, you know they want more, but they wanna keep you low, so they manifest the war. War, all they really want is a war. Diversionary tactic to make the big score. The diamonds in the morning, you know they want more, but they wanna keep you low, so they manifest the war. Like a lotus coming out of the mud with colors, I create envy in those with power but jealous. I unify the poor with my song, the hell with the others. Descended the way they treat indigenous brothers. Cause I understand we link forever. They try to hate us even though that we keep it together. I'm not talking about controlling the air or the weather. I'm talking about maintaining the truth, the high endeavor. A rebel drops bombs in the midst of trouble. The free world counterattack and now there's double. But nature gets the shit in a way to settle. If you stop the machines for a minute you might hear, but they won't cause the TV's whisper in the ear. And capitalism has eyes that don't dare, and they cloud up and get crazy and won't stare. And like an ad, it's hard to get an ass to listen. Living like this is like living in prison. It's hard to keep hope when you're living in prison. The spiritual thoughts, so yes, the mental prison. The outside, yes, it's got to get through. Something's gotta die, so something here can live. Your life is nothing if you got nothing to give. Keeping the spiritual, yes, disguised as religion. Controlling your mind, the mental prison. They want war, all they really want is a war.